Okay, so we have a bar that kind of connects to this piece and it goes down and it connects to the outside of the fender down here between that and the gas tank. So let's maybe do that piece now. Okay, let's go back into the back view here. Okay, and let's maybe just get rid of all this shit for a second so that we can see what's going on here. Just gonna hide all the pieces of the truck. Okay, and we'll go back in here and you can kind of see a piece of it here. It's really blurry on the blueprints right here. It has a bunch of holes cut through this bar. Okay, so I think we'll do this now, and I'm just gonna have to wing this because I really can't see what's going on there on the blueprints. So let's try to match the height as best we can here that we need. Okay, let's maybe just make it 15 by 15 on the plane, and let's maybe get rid of these segments as well. We don't really need them. Okay, I think that should be fine. So let's hit Alt Q, and we'll just start working on this. Just gonna put a blue shader on there. Okay, so let's maybe add one segment each way here, and then we'll convert it to editable poly. Okay, and let's also grab a circle again, and we'll just cut the hole through the same way as we have been doing. Alright, so we'll draw a circle out here, and it doesn't need to be super huge. Let's do maybe around 6 or so on the radius. Okay, I think that should work fine. Alright, we'll also take the interpolation steps here down to 1, so we have an 8-sided octagon, which is what we need. And we'll just line this up at the intersection here on the plane. Okay, like that. Reselect the plane, and let me just push this back a little bit here in the top view, so we can see the circle through it. And we'll just go down to cut. Let's turn our snaps on again, and we'll just cut around the circle here, clicking on each corner. Okay, right back to where we started, and right click to end it. We'll turn off cut, turn off snaps, grab the circle there, and delete it. Okay, and let's also maybe quad this up. So I'm just going to grab these two verts here and do a connect, and we'll do that on each corner. So just connect those up. Alright, and we also make sure that we add a support edge here in the center, so we'll grab the 4 polygons and do an inset. And we want these to be pretty sharp, so we'll take this down quite a bit. Let's do maybe a 0.2 or so on that, and okay, and then we can delete those polygons out. Okay, and let's also go to edge here, and we'll just kind of model in the support edges that we'll need later on. So I'm just going to grab those 2 top edges, hold down shift, and we'll just extrude that up a little bit here. Do the same thing on the bottom, and try to get it even if you can. And the same thing on each side. So grab these 4 edges and shift drag them out on the X, and same thing over here. Okay, just like that. So get out of edge there, and we're going to make some copies of this. So I'm just going to hold down shift and drag it over on the X. Okay, we'll line up the right edge of this piece with the left edge of the original right on top of each other. And let's choose copy here, and we want to do, say, 10 of these, and okay. Okay, I think that should probably be long enough. Alright, so let's maybe attach them together here. So grab that first one, go down to the attach box, we'll select all and attach, and then we'll just go to vertex here, do Control A, and we just need to weld up the verts here between each piece. So let's just do a 0.1 weld on that, and okay, and that should be enough to weld them. So if you want to check, just grab that center vert there, and if you have only one selected, then they all weld it together. Okay, so let's maybe center the pivot point on this, and we'll add another shell to it to get some thickness. Okay, we'll take it up a little bit more than that. Let's maybe try 2, and we can adjust it later if we need to. And I think that should be fine. Okay, so let's collapse that down to edit poly again. And we need to add some support around the outside here, but we also need to add it to the inside of each hole. So let's do the holes first. We'll go to edge, and we'll go into the left view, hit Z, and go into wireframe F3, and we'll just grab one of the edges here in the center, and then do a ring. Okay, now select all the edges around the inside of the holes. So we'll do another connect here with 2 segments, pinch those out, about 75 or so, and okay. And same thing here on the outside. Grab that corner, do a ring, and a connect. And we'll take that down just a little bit. About 70 should be good, and okay. And then we'll just throw the turbo smooth on here and see if it looks okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. There's no artifacting, and everything looks like it's holding the shape pretty good. Alright, so that'll be our bar there. Let's hit exit isolation there. Go back into the back view, we'll unhide all. And we'll just figure out where we need to position this. Let's just move it over here. Okay, we're going to kind of bolt this onto the inside of the step here. Let's actually move it way down towards the front. Okay, I want to kind of have it pinned in here. Okay, so I'm just going to push it over until it kind of intersects right here. So it's touching up against it. And let's maybe make a little bit of a space on the end there so we can put our bolts on. Alright, so go back in here. Let's turn off turbo speed for a second. And we'll drop this down to vertex, and we'll just grab the end line of verts here. I'm just going to move that out. Okay, maybe something like that. And then we'll just do a connect on these edges here with 1 segment. No pinch, and we'll slide that down for our support edge at the end. About 85 or so should be good. Okay, and let's maybe do the same thing over here at this end. We'll also need to bolt it to the outside the fender, so let's grab the inverts there, and we'll just pull those over. And I'm just going to guess here at the distance, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's do it like there, and then another connect on these edges. Okay, now it'll give us a little tab there that we can put the bolts on. Okay. So let's maybe move the pivot point over here so we can kind of rotate it from this position. I'm just going to go back into the hierarchy tab to effect pivot only, and we'll just drag the pivot point over to the end. Okay, turn off the button there, and let's push it back a bit. And we'll just give it a rotate here. I'm just going to turn off the angle snaps, and we'll just rotate that down a bit. Okay, I'm going to try to match the angle that we have here with the angle of the end of this. Something like that. We'll push it over a little bit more, and we'll figure out where that needs to sit. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good right there. I'm just going to move it down a little bit more, and we'll park it right about there. Okay, and you can see it's intersecting through the fender there, so let's move the tank down a little bit more to the back. Alright, so I'm just going to grab these pieces. Let's grab all the pieces of the step, both of these plates at the ends, as well as the bands, the cap, and the tank. Okay, and then we'll deselect the bar there. Actually, let's reselect that. We'll adjust it after if we need to. Going to move this down a little bit in the top view. Okay, we don't want to have a gap between there, so it's a little hard to see, but we'll just push it over until it touches up with the fender. And that should be close enough right there. Okay, just check to make sure everything's lined up properly. And we want to have this bar here on the inside of the step. Okay, so I think that looks about right. Alright, so just a few more pieces that we need to add on here and we'll be done with the tank. Let's maybe grab the 2 bands, as well as these step pieces again. Okay, we'll just hide everything else. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of a support from the bottom of the top step down onto that band. Okay, so we'll do this maybe in the little back view. Okay, I'm just going to kind of make this up again. It's a little hard to see on the blueprints because it's so small, so we'll just kind of guess here. Alright, so I'm going to grab another plane. Let's draw this out right here. Okay, we'll take off the segments. Let's convert it to editable poly. Okay, and let's maybe grab that bottom edge there. I'm just going to shift drag this over towards the tank. And let's move these verts up a little bit. Okay, and let's also move this in the position here. I'm just going to move this down. Okay, we just want to make kind of like a little support there. Okay, let's shorten it up a little bit. I think that's a little too long. Let's just pull these down a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to quick slice this off here, just inside the band, and we'll just delete that bottom piece we don't need. Okay, let's put a shell on it, and we'll just take that up a little bit more. Let's do about 4 maybe on it, and we'll just kind of center this on the band. Alright, so I'm just going to eyeball it there. Okay, and let's also pull the top up a little bit more. Let's just collapse this down first. And we'll just grab those verts and we'll pull it up a little bit so it's inside the step there. We can also delete that top polygon off. Alright, so I'm just going to grab those ones, deselect the side ones, and delete the top one. And we'll just put our blue shader on it. And we'll just chamfer the edges down here, so let's ring that edge. Whoops. Let's do a loop on it too. And then we'll do a chamfer. And we'll just knock out the corners a little bit. Let's do maybe something like that. That looks pretty good. We could also chamfer this one here, so it's not so sharp. Okay, so do a loop on that one. And we'll just chamfer that down a little bit tighter. Okay. And let's just make sure that that's actually center with our stair. Just going to move it a little bit towards the outside. That should be good right there. Okay, we also want to make a little plate here that it sits on. So we'll do that maybe in the left view. Let's grab another box, and we'll just draw that out here around the base. And we'll give it a little bit of height. Let's also move it in position. Let's drag that over in the back view until it lines up with the outside. Okay, I'm also going to move it up here a bit more, and we'll give it a little bit of a rotate. And push it in, we'll take the thickness up a little bit more. Okay, we'll leave a little bit of extra space here at the bottom so we can put a couple of bolts in there maybe. Alright, so let's collapse it down to editable poly. We'll just get rid of that back polygon that we don't need. Okay, and let's grab the top polygon, and we'll control click edge, and we'll just chamfer that over. Maybe something like that. And let's grab the two top ones, do a loop on them, and a chamfer. And we'll do that about the same, 0.37 or so. And for the two bottom ones here, let's maybe take those up a little bit more, just to give it a little bit different shape. I think that should be good. Okay, so pretty simple. And I think I'll just leave it like this at the top. I don't think we need to really put a plate around the top. You won't really see up there, so we'll just leave it like that. You can also get rid of this inside polygon on this piece, which we don't need. And we'll make a couple of bolts in a minute for the top part, and then put a couple of clones down here on this piece. Okay, so let's just make sure that everything's centered to the bands. That looks pretty good. Move that over a little bit. And we'll just center it between these edges. And then we'll shift drag a copy over to this one again. And line it up. Okay, so just like that. And that should work fine.